One thing that we respect about a woman is how firm she is on her non-negotiables, because it's going to let us know how much effort that we need to put in. Like certain women that you run into, and as men, we know it, we could just do whatever. We could say whatever. We could be half-assed. We could be inconsistent. And we know that she going to be there at our every beck and call. If we call at 3 a.m., she picking up. If we in this situation, hey, we need something, she coming through. But it's certain women that we know, yeah, nah, man, we got to like go about this the right way. She not playing. Like she said that, you know, this is what she expects. This is what she requires. And as a man, I got to climb up that ladder and get there. Or she will move around from me. And it's not even necessarily, oh, she got this many options or whatever, but it's just a matter of, hey, she's not tolerating anything that's outside of her non-negotiable list. And as a man, we respect that. And more times than not, when it's time for us to settle down, that's who we settle down with.
Do you think that American women are unmarriageable?
Oh, this one's probably going to get banned, but I'm going to answer the question because she is asking a legitimate question, and I love that she is, to be honest with you, but I know my answer is going to trigger some people. The answer is yes, American women have become unmarriageable. And it's not really for the reasons you're talking about. You talk about being promiscuous and all that. Honestly, I could care less what somebody does. What it is they don't respect us. They don't respect us as men. They don't respect us as human beings. They have this preconceived notion of what we're supposed to be, which is perfect. They have all their criteria that no man could ever meet. And even if he managed to, they'd create new criteria that, again, he could never meet. So yes, marriage is done. We've walked away. Dating is done. We're done. That's where it's at. Enjoy.
Why men won't leave a marriage if they're unhappy? I've been asked this question a lot from women, and here's the honest truth coming from a man who once was in an unhappy marriage. Number one, we love our children. We would sacrifice our happiness any day of the week just to be near our kids and tuck them into bed. Another reason is they know that they'll be financially ruined if they leave. Even if they were the world's greatest husband, most courts will deem the benefits of the divorce to the ex-spouse by giving her alimony or child support, leaving him in a dire financial situation, which he will be crippled for the next 5 to 18 years. And last, truthfully, deep down we still love our wives, and we want things to be better.
What does a guy get from a woman that he couldn't get from a cook, a cleaner, and a hooker?
So this is what internalized misogyny looks like. This woman jumped out there and said the only thing that women bring to the table are cooking and cleaning and intimacy. See, pick-me's have to exist so that men can have women to point to and say, you see, it's not just us. Women feel like this too. She don't represent us. Hey, Siri, who lives longer, married men or single men?
Here's what I found from Harvard.edu. Statistics on marriage and health show that married men are healthier than unmarried or divorced men and are also more likely to live longer.
So while y'all out here worried about cooking and cleaning, good women out here adding years to your life. So why don't you go and see if you can get that from a cook, a cleaner, and a hooker?
So I understand what she's saying. So what she doesn't understand is that these men now, they're waking up. They're realizing, holy shit, if I get married, I could end up in divorce and she could take half my shit. That is the real question. See, what she's missing here, it's not that men don't want to get married, is that men don't want to get fucked through divorce.
Do we need men? Do we need men?
No.
Do we need men?
No.
No?
We don't need short men.
Do you need a man?
No.
Do you need a man?
Oh, God.
Do you need a man?
No.
Do we need men?
No.
Why?
No.
Do we need men?
No.
No? Do we need men?
We need men to make us stupid.
Do we need men? Do we need men? Do women need men in this world?
Young liberal women are some of the least informed, most discriminatory people out there. And it's like, I look at single guys and honestly, I get it. If I were a guy single looking at like people like this as my dating prospects, I 100% would be running the other way. We'll see if these women are still so keen on not needing men 20 years in the future when all they have are their cats and their wine.
Contemporary society is experiencing a trend where men are avoiding relationships with women due to the perception that they are less committed to traditional values and more concerned with personal gain. This leads to disappointment, anger, and a reluctance to pursue long-term relationships or marriage.
Have you ever cheated before? You're lying. I can read characters very well.
Gotcha.
There was a gentleman here named Nick. He was explaining to everyone how the show is going to proceed and giving us the basics on, how to be respectful, in other words. There was one person who was not paying attention while he was talking. Who was that?
That was me.
That was you.
Yeah.
So out of everyone sitting here, why are you the one that's sitting here being disrespectful when he's taking out his time to show you how to best present yourself in front of millions of people?
Because I was turning off my alarm, yeah, and I didn't want to forget to do it later.
Sure, I hear you. Because you're a disrespectful person and you were
Okay.
rude.
I don't think I said anything disrespectful. I mean,
I agree with you. I agree that you think you weren't being disrespectful because that's your actual nature.
I don't know
So,
how being on
back
my
to your
phone
point.
correlates to cheating. That's ridiculous. Like, be real right now.
A lot of things will be hard for you to comprehend. That's why you're in sex work, because you can't offer value in the marketplace.
What the
Yeah, no, if you had legitimate...
I think I have a lot more to offer
if
than
you
just
had
being on
significant,
OnlyFans.
if you had
like that I've
significant...
started.
What is a time where you felt that you failed that you learned a valuable lesson from?
That's such a hard question. Getting divorced was a big lesson.
Okay.
Yeah.
How come? What happened?
For a long time, like in your 20s and 30s, like getting married was a big goal, and I got married. And then I realized that that's not everything. And what I learned through being married was that knowing who you are, knowing your values, and knowing your non-negotiables is so much more important than anything else. It could be more important than the person that you love. And that was a huge lesson for me.
So do you think you didn't know yourself before getting married?
I think I didn't really know how important my values were to me before I got married.
What is true love like, in your opinion?
When I find out, I'll let you know.
Why did it not work, if you don't mind me asking?
Because I wanted to work so much that I was willing to overlook aspects of him and myself that didn't align with my true values. And that's why it didn't work.
Your partner, spouse, husband, wife, they're supposed to be up here, above almost everything else, including yourself. So I know that if he doesn't want me to do something, he has a good reason for it. And I know that he has my best interest at heart, just like I do for him. So I can be independent, opinionated, and be my own woman while still respecting and listening to my man.
So many women are not reacting well to this, but she did not say, if my man says no, I listen. What she said was, I respect my husband because he respects me.
Gender roles and social expectations have impacted the modern dating scene, with women placing more value on careers, personal development, and independence than traditional expectations of marriage. This has created a gap between what men and women look for in a partner, leading to a lack of emotional connection, shared goals, and mutual support.
Why is a sexless marriage so damaging? In a healthy marriage, you have sex. And unless there are extenuating circumstances, a reason why that can't be, if both people are physically able to have sex, they should be. That is the mode of a healthy relationship. However, many of us get into what we call an intimacy withdrawal. It's like our bank accounts, our emotional accounts, our physical accounts, our relational accounts have become over withdrawn. We are in a negative balance. Leave a comment if this sounds familiar to you. Like, here's an example of what we often see. Sometimes maybe a wife and a husband will be home at the end of the day, and the wife wants to share something with her husband, and the husband's on his phone and he's checked out. And the wife does not feel heard and does not feel like her husband is emotionally supportive of her.
Why would I get married? Why?
Yeah.
There's no actual reason to get married. It can complicate things. I have some friends that just have a woman they love and they had kids and they just didn't get married. I find them happier than those that get married.
There's something about it. I don't know what it is, but I feel like once you put the marriage title on it, there's just this
like a
added pressure,
too, right? Yeah.
that like the relationship doesn't need.
Did you hear about this new food that like completely destroys sex drive in women?
No.
Wedding cake.
Financial dynamics have also changed, making men feel less important in relationships. This has led to a rise in men staying single and avoiding serious relationships.
All right, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You gonna give me a hug or what?
Oh no, that's lame.
That's the traditional way.
Yeah, that's lame.
No, it's not. It's
Very lame.
respectful.
No, lame.
No?
Lame.
Oh,
Lame.
well, you can just sit down then.
Well, you can stand up.
Or you could just sit down.
I'm gonna walk out then.
Air hugs.
She didn't want to stand up. Typical feminist. I mean, you know, it is what it is. You got to play the game, guys. This is how women are nowadays. You know, they want to sit there and think, oh no, I'm not going to stand up. And it's like, okay, cool. Now I'm going to demolish you in this debate.
I just think marriage is a no. In today's day and age, I mean, there's obviously the tradition component if you're religious, but you know, when it comes to the government involvement and the potential financial ramifications of having to unwind a marriage, it does not make sense. So don't get married, guys. Don't do it. You do, but you could have a life partner, for example, but you just don't need the government involved.
Exactly
in that.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
And fully want the whole white picket fence. We are husband and wife, but I just don't feel the need to go and sign some paper that lets them know that we are.
Yep.
The whole life partner thing might be a nice idea for some people, but even without a formal contract with the government involved with a marriage license, the pitfall is that being together constitutes a common law marriage. How do you get around that?
Women are not desirable right now. Everyone's a Kim Kardashian clone. I asked you earlier, what don't men want? And you said promiscuity. Well, that seems about the only thing that's being offered right now. When I open my Instagram and I've got butt cheeks and I'm going, people are like, I don't understand why no one wants to marry. This woman's been married 4 times. I'm like, well, I can understand it, because even if men think they want it in the short term, when you see a girl, she's half naked, she looks good. Yeah, sure. You probably do want to have sex with her. I bet you're wired that way. You're hardwired that way.
Yeah.
But then what happens after you have sex with her and you realize that so did 20 other dudes
100%.
in the same week, you don't want her.
You nailed it. You
Yeah.
absolutely not only nailed it.
The Me Too movement and contemporary feminism have also led to women adopting an independence mindset, leading to emotional outbursts and reluctance to resolve conflicts. Open communication and mutual understanding between genders are essential in bridging this gap, resulting in healthier, more balanced, and respectful relationships.
Me calling my ex-husband while we were separated because I was having a panic attack and he was my safe person. Him coming to pick me up even though I was the one divorcing him. I completely understand this. I did it several times. I struggle with the sadness of the decision, but it was needed. So your ex-husband is needed, but he's your ex-husband. Mine didn't come. I go through them alone now, and it hurts every time. There is a disconnect happening where women are leaving their men yet expecting them to stay and keep performing their husbandly duties. Do you think if he called her having a panic attack that she'd even pick up the phone? Being expected to constantly provide and care for people who have given up on them is not good for men's souls and their growth. It is beating them down mentally. Even if it's not your intention, it is so incredibly manipulative to break up with a guy and then expect him to console you through the breakup.
And that wraps up today's episode of Manosphere Daily. If you enjoyed the content, give it a like. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified as soon as a new video is out. Share your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.